You see, in 1880 or so, Swami Vivekananda was traveling through India. So, he was walking all over the country. In fact, he traveled through entire country twice. He once reached Indus River. Now it's in Pakistan. And historians say that that is the area where the Vedas, maximum verses of the Vedas were composed in Pakistan. Now Swamiji was sitting and meditating, and suddenly he started losing his normal consciousness. It is recorded. It's fully recorded. Later on he had told this to Sister Nivedita, who records it, and now we find it in Swami Vivekananda's biography also. And he was losing his consciousness, and slowly his mind went into that transcendental state. And he suddenly felt that on the bank, a sage was sitting. Ancient sage. And there was kind of, you can say, there was some kind of wave of darkness, you can say, like the way you have clouds coming. They were rolling around that sage. And suddenly, that sage started chanting one Vedic mantra, Avahi Varade Devi Trakshare Brahma Vadinim. This comes in Rig Veda, I think. Avahi Varade Devi. And suddenly Swamiji found that he is also chanting. The interesting thing about this chanting is, Swamiji himself says, the tones used in that chanting was completely different from what tones are used today. It's not that it was not a product of his mind. Then later on he checked and then he found, yes, earlier the tones were slightly different, etc. Now if you look at this vision, and as coupled with Yagyavalkya's vision, it explains things very beautifully. Because you see, if you are interested, you can write down this Swamiji's vision where he saw that sage on whom waves of darkness were rolling as if. From this we find origin of the Vedas, number one. Number two is nature of the Vedas. And number three is form of the Vedas. And last, utility of the Vedas. So Vedic hymns are basically prayers to gods and goddesses. This is number one. Avahi Varade Devi, it's a prayer to Saraswati. Second thing to know here is that they were realized by great sages, and in depths of their transcendental state, which we call samadhi. And the Vedic wisdom was always handed down from guru to shishya, from teacher to the disciple, as the teacher passed it on to Swamiji. Later on, Swamiji was to say that suddenly lots of things became clear to Swami Vivekananda. And then he says, even Shankaracharya, who is the greatest mind that India has produced and who really gave shape to Hinduism, said he must have had some vision like this, because the Vedas are the national cadence of India. Cadence is the rhythm, the national rhythm of India. Whatever we can see, we can talk about socialism, we can talk about Marxism, we can talk about materialism, we can talk about this, but we can talk about that. Every country has a national cadence. There is a national rhythm. एक सुर में बंधा होता है. Indian cadence, Indian rhythm is the Vedas. And one who catches that rhythm, he becomes great. The way Shankaracharya became, or the way Swamiji became. So, thus we find what happened with Yagyavalkya. Something similar happened with Swamiji also.